Hey everyone, it's Loren Robertson here. Today I want to talk to you about how to internalize a successful self-image. Specifically how, as a medium, you can see yourself as a successful medium, whatever that means to you. And this is really part 2 of the video I made the other day where I was talking about how the stories and the meaning and the identity that you've internalized as a result of your childhood and things that happened to you might currently be holding you back in your mediumship. So this is a subject that I'm really passionate about because I believe that not just in mediumship but in most things in life, how we see ourselves in relation to the world is what actually determines our results. And for me that has been huge, like personally. I've done a lot of work on myself to identify why I was behaving in certain ways, why I believed certain things about myself, why I was attracted to certain kinds of people, why I found myself coming up against certain blocks, why I seemed to have repetitive thoughts and feelings of self-doubt, and what I could do about it. And I tried for a long time to sort of fabricate and furnish and try to build a successful self-image of myself, kind of in the way that Tony Robbins describes. You know, Tony Robbins talks about how Anthony Robbins, you know, just the little guy that he was when he was a kid, is not the man he is now. He built Tony Robbins. And I tried to build Loren Robertson, the successful medium, and that way of doing things didn't really work for me. What worked for me was, and of course I'm not as successful as Tony Robbins in some way, and I'm not like him in many ways, but you know, I have had some success, especially in terms of my mediumship. You know, my mediumship is really strong. I can quite often deliver first names, surnames, dates, the personality of the person, intimate memories, you know, this sort of evidence that's making even skeptics go away saying, okay, wait, maybe we have an eternal spirit after all. And for me, that is my definition of success. So, you know, I guess that's a good place to start, is defining what success is to you. And for me, like Tony Robbins' way of like building Tony Robbins and having this fight to define himself as a successful human being, I was just like, to me that sounds a bit tiring. I don't know if I really want to do that. So I've sort of gone in the opposite direction. I've, you know, to create my success, I've not focused on trying to build things up and build up an identity of myself and force myself into this mold of what I think success should be. Instead, I've focused on setting things down. You know, anything that is an unsuccessful behaviour or an unsuccessful way of thinking or doing, or something that I'm thinking or doing that doesn't make me feel good, I've focused on how I can actually stop doing those things and setting those things down. So rather than trying to build or construct, my way of creating success in my mediumship and success in my life really has been about focusing on what I'm going to stop doing, what I'm going to stop thinking, and even who I'm going to stop being around, what I'm going to stop putting into my body, what I'm going to stop filling my diary or my time with. It really has been about a releasing. For me, I see myself as a hot air balloon, and success for me is being lighter and lighter and simpler and clearer so that the messages from spirit can get through undistracted or disrupted or unobstructed. And so that would be my recommendation for you, is if you want to get clearer with spirit, if you want your mediumship to excel, is to actually stop certain things. You know, to think of yourself as a hot air balloon with these anchors and weights coming off the side. Which of those can you stop doing? Which of those can you set down? How can you create more white space and clarity and openness and honestly peace in your life? Because see, when you do that, when you make space in your life and you feel more at peace, that allows you to serve. It allows you to serve more clearly, more distinctly, more consistently. It allows you to serve with more energy. And quite honestly, success comes from the repetition of service. You know, serving more in your mediumship, serving at a different level, serving, you know, in new places. being open to the question of how you can serve. And for me, that ability to serve was in direct result and in direct response to decluttering my life and decluttering my mind and letting a lot of things go, decluttering my emotions and my thought processes, and not being afraid of just emptiness and peace and white space. So that's what I recommend for you. And again, what we do in life, we become in our mediumship. So look outside of your mediumship for where you could start setting things down and dropping some of those anchors. Could be as simple as decluttering one of your email inboxes, or even closing one of your email inboxes, which is something I'm working on right now. I mean, nobody needs 4 email inboxes, really. That is a recipe for overwhelm and being distracted and held back and focusing on other things besides service and what you should be doing. So have a look around your life, your mind, do a little bit of decluttering, see what you can let go of and set down. For me, it's the first step to ascending as a hot air balloon and being more successful in my mediumship. So tell me, do you agree? What do you think is successful? Like, how are you going to start to create a successful self-image? What do you define as success in your mediumship? I'd love to know your thoughts in a comment, and if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to my page or channel and go ahead and share it if you know someone who'd find it beneficial. This has been Loren Robertson. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you really soon. Mwah!